Love, light, and blessings. This is Shamanic Awak Priestess here. Sorry if you're hearing noise in the background. I try my best to record when I can, but there's three other people that live with me, so. You might see the same shirt in about 3 videos. So this video and 2 other videos I'm gonna record because, again, I record when I can. So sometimes I'm making more than 1 video a day. It's just because I want to hit the goal of 29 videos. So from February 1st through March 1st, there should be 1 video being posted for the celebration of my 2nd year of doing 29 days of Melanated Excellence to celebrate the Black community within the spiritual community. So all Black Americans, Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Latinos, anyone of the diaspora, or those that are not even part of the diaspora, just celebrating Black excellence. And so this is my 2nd year doing it. So if you're new to my channel, every day I will be posting a video. Sorry about that, like my lipstick was weird. Every day I'll be posting a video, so you might see me in the same clothes. Okay, just means that I recorded more than 1 video, but in 1 day. Okay, just so I can keep up with it's a lot to vlog every single day. So today's topic is going to be, sorry, lost my train of thought, my apologies. It's going to be possession and spirituality. So I'm coming at this from a perspective of ATRs of the diaspora. Okay, so I have a background in growing up around Santeria, okay, having lower initiations into that. I don't necessarily classify myself as a Santera at this time. I have my practice has evolved and things like that, but I do have a background and a knowledge and things of that nature. I consider myself leaning more towards Haitian voodoo, hoodoo, espiritismo, which is more, shamanism and things like that. Okay, so Taino spirituality, things like that. Yeah. But anyways, when I was growing up in Santeria, when I was part of a Santeria house, in the voodoo house that I practice in, going to the centro with family members that practice espiritismo. Possession is a part of the ATRs that I've been exposed to. Cannot speak about every single one. Growing up, it was just, unfortunately, when I was younger, nobody explained to me that was what's going on. I just saw people looking like they were dancing ecstatically, speaking in tongues, bodies being manipulated and contortion and, things like that. So when you don't understand what that is, not gonna lie, it comes off a little scary. So I have tried to kind of change those things with my own children and try to explain what's going on so that way they don't fear it like I did. Not having anyone explain these things to me is what led me to convert into a fundamentalist religion at the age of 9 on my own reconnaissance. It was through neighbors taking me to church, and that kind of thing. And I have a large of family members that are very fundamentally Christian. I have Jehovah's Witnesses, I have Pentecostal, Baptist, I have Catholics, a lot of Christianity on one side, and then some of them still practice these religions. So there is a divide in my family, okay? So I started leaning towards that one. I've already explained that in detail. We're good. So I remember going to church and seeing people possessed with the Holy Spirit. So me having a Pentecostal background. So that scared me until someone explained, God is come, God's Holy Spirit is coming into your body and is administering to yourself. You may not understand what languages this, the Holy Spirit is speaking because it's cleansing you from within. Okay. That's why when I made the transition of getting into more of what my mother was practicing and that side of the family was practicing, when I got older and I got into these religious practices at the age in my 30s. Okay, so now we're going, it'll be, if I'm not mistaken, 16 years that I've been in this path. It wasn't scary to me. That's when people are like, oh, you just take on all these spirits and stuff. It's because when I started to understand what possession actually was, that you are a vessel and there's a spirit that's speaking through you. So separate from Christianity, okay, when it comes to the ATRs of the diaspora that I've been exposed to, it is understood that your seres or your guias, okay, so or and things like that are the ones that, and they pick that, like not everybody gets possessed. That's not like everybody in the community has to get possessed, okay? They choose who de caballo, okay? Quien espíritu se va a montar en el caballo, or what horse, I guess, translated roughly in English, is the spirit going to mount, you know, who they're going to go into. And what happens with that is, when the person is possessed by the spirit that's speaking through them, we're supposed to attend to that spirit. So you may see them give alcohol if that spirit takes alcohol, if that spirit eats a certain type of food. And I know, like in voodoo, they might even put some certain colors on that person because each spirit is represented by a colored scarf. So they may wrap that person's head with those scarves. You'll see garments going onto that person, okay? And I noticed that spirits don't care about genders, okay? You will see males, cis males that are very masculine presenting, getting possessed by a female spirit. Next thing you know, that cis male that's masculine presenting is wearing a dress and he's being possessed by a madama spirit. He's putting on makeup, he's smoking a cigar, he's walking around a certain way, you know, his whole dialect, his their whole everything changes, and you actually feel and see the madama. You no longer see the host. And then that person ministers to the community. Most of the time when a spirit possesses somebody, it's because there's some type of urgent message that needs to be told, and they're going to talk to you directly. It's why I guess reading for myself, I try to do that. It doesn't resonate with me because when I need information, I just do ritual and a spirit will come through and directly speak to me. So I don't need like decks or whatever when it comes to my personal thing, and things like that. Is why I believe that tarot is predictive, not tarot itself, but should I say the spirits that are coming through me, that are giving the messages through the session that you guys book with me, or when I'm reading tarot for anybody else, they're the ones that are prophesizing and telling you and forecasting, right? It is their, I am like their mouthpiece, but they are speaking through me. So it's not really about the deck itself. It's about the spirits that one works with. So that's why I believe in a lot of stuff, because I've seen it, you know, and seeing is believing, right? It's also known that there are people that try to scam possess, okay? And so there are certain things when you go deeper into the religion. So I'm going to talk from even now a Haitian voodoo perspective. I just find the Haitian voodoo is very little talked about. So when I was getting into it with my house and my beautiful Haitian community, there were certain signs. So handshakes, signs, if you will, to know if somebody was really possessed, okay? There's certain characteristics and traits that only one who's well versed in the religion would know. So especially when you're seeing a newbie. So when I was coming into it, I didn't know any of these signs and whatever. And people would tell me, oh my gosh, like you got possessed by so-and-so. I know that was authentic because you don't know these things. You don't know the protocol. So like the way that that spirit was acting was very, and then I would speak languages that I don't know how to speak in real life. And things like that. So, yeah, so, you know, possession is a big part of the path that I follow. It can be scary for some people, but there's a lot of healing. Like there's a purpose to it. Because I feel like when people film these things, nobody understands what's happening. And they're like, oh, these are just people, you know, that is just like psychosomatic because everybody else is doing it. They feel it. And that's not true. There's such an order and a hierarchy and an order to these types of religion. Like everything is for a reason. It is the same way in indigenous practices that a shaman is a host. A shaman literally intercedes on the behalf of their community to the spirit realm. It's why you have in some shaman practices ayahuasca or any type of hallucinogen medicine that they partake in because it helps them to connect to the other side. I'm going to talk about it more deeply in another video, but alcohol, there are certain spirits that take alcohol. We do drink with the spirits. We do smoke with the spirits. These are all because we're calling down energies. Okay, we're calling down energies. Okay, we are invoking, if you will, energies to be a part of our rituals, because that's how we do it. I don't do any type of ritual, spell work, whatever you want to call it, without the ashe, without the essence of the spirits. To me, it's just, you're just doing something. If they're energy is not in the ritual, I feel like it's pointless. That's just my personal opinion. So yeah, and things like that. But the thing is, even if, let's say, a spirit chooses you, or whatever, I always recommend, and something that I learned early on, it's not good to be possessed by yourself, especially if you don't have experience, because when you are being possessed, okay, depending on how much of a possession it is, you may have some control over yourself. Okay, so it could be like you seeing yourself outside your body, like, and kind of like you're still part of the ritual, like you have some knowing, even though some of you is being controlled by a spirit, but you still have some knowing. And then there's possessions that you don't even know what you did. Like literally you lose time. It's like you wake up and you're like, what happened? And people are like looking at you with like awe and stuff. You just told me my whole life story and you just did this really humanly impossible thing, and things like that. So it depends. So with that, and I'm going to give you an example. I've been part of a ritual that I saw someone, and I'm not going to say names, okay, because what happens in a ritual is private, who has screws all throughout their back, that is in constant pain, is a little bit of an older person. Okay, this is an older person, grandmother and everything, do a split, which in real life this person cannot do. Okay, cartwheeled, if you will. So you will see people displaying supernatural strength. I've been told in possession, I've done things, listen, in real life I know I cannot do, okay, and have no repercussions of it. Okay, I'm just saying. So I said it in a video before, and some people were trolling me because like they think it's funny. It's not funny. There's a spirit that I never knew about. So there's a loa that he eats glass. Never knew about this when I first starting out. And I was told that when I woke up, I had glass in my teeth, and they just told me to floss, like to, floss water and spit it out. But I actually had ingested. Nothing happened to me because it was the spirit. I was safe. I didn't believe them until I went like this with my tongue and I saw the glass in my mouth. So, but it was a life and death thing. But the spirit literally ate a whole glass cup. Like I've tried doing that in real life. They make cups very thick. So I'm like, how the heck did I bite a glass cup like it's candy? That's just one example. So you can do, I've seen people literally with using no hands climb on a damn tree. Understand? Wake up after the possession is over and wonder how the hell they got into the top of the tree. So that would be like a full-on possession. The reason why it's important to do these things within a community, right? So there's a different way that I do rituals when I'm by myself versus when I'm with my people, or I have, or my family members are partaking in the ritual, because you have to have somebody who spots you. Why? Because there are certain spirits that if the person doesn't know how to attend to them, because these are very strong ancient forces, they could literally hurt the person they're hosting unintentionally. For example, there's a spirit in voodoo called Dambalawedo. Dambalawedo is a serpent spirit. He is as old as time. Okay, nobody really knows his actual origin. Okay, Da. Okay, he is believed to be around since the beginning of creation. Believed to have helped with creation, creating his wife, Aida Wedo, the rainbow serpent. Rainbow serpents around in many different cultures, a lot in indigenous cultures and various other cultures, okay? And When Dambala comes, and I tell this to people all the time, it is such a strong possession. There have been people that I personally know that started invoking spirits without knowing what they're doing. I've had people come to me to help them because they've ended up in the actual hospital because they've had seizures, non-stop seizures. Dambala Wedo is a very powerful loa, and if you don't have somebody who knows how to attend to him and what to do to take you out of his possession, this can actually cause you your life. Thus, a video I made a long time ago when someone was saying that they conjured up Barom Samdi, and you had a lot of people at the ATR saying, be careful with that, and the person ended up dying. Just like in Irish culture, they say don't mess with the Fae, because the Faes are real. I don't care what anybody says, the Faes are real. Fae energy is not this cartoonish energy that you see looking all cute. These are very ancient spirits, right? In their own right, and these are energies that you need to respect. That's just the way it goes. That is the same understanding with the Orishas and the Loas. They're not these, oh, Shun, the goddess, rivers of waters and sweet honey and all that. No. All the spirits in the ATRs and the diaspora have their lighter versions and a little and more of their darker versions. Each of these spirits have more than one path. Some have over 100 different aspects and paths. So they'll have a name that goes with their Orisha, and then they'll have another name which describes the path they're from. Like, it's so complex, right? It's not just Oshun. I don't teach that part because that's something you learn when you're initiated, right? I teach people how to work with spirits in a non-initiate way. Okay, in a non-initiate way. There's a difference, right? So there has to be safety. There has to be safety, because it's just like anything. It's just like some people, they think the Ouija board's a game, and then you have people, oh my gosh, I converted to Christianity because demons. But it's because people are just dabbing and dabbling into things, and oh, it's satanic. No, my friend, it's not because it's satanic. In the ATRs, we don't believe in that. It's because there is no Satan in that. You just have certain spirits that are darker than other spirits, and then spirits just like human beings, because that's why I say the whole God and Goddess thing, no, because for me personally, because when I think of creator, I think of creator being neutral. Creator is neither good or bad, right? And the spirits have human traits. They understand what the average person is going through. In the ATRs, we believe we all have a main creator. There's a deal with discussion of the gender. Some people say male God. Some people say that God doesn't have a gender, so on and so forth, right? I tend to lean in the whole God is neither man or woman. Since we're made in the image of God, then how can God be male only? There will only be men in the world. That's just my thinking, my personal opinion. That's why we say Father, Mother, God. But anyways, getting back to the topic at hand. So this is why I say, like, we have to be very careful, because if you're just going around dabbling in things and being alone in possession, this is where Santeria and Voodoo gets its bad rep, because you have people that don't know what they're doing, and they're just tapping into all these energies. And the thing is, whether you believe in this energy or not, that's your own business. But these are energies like any other energy that should be respected. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you can put yourself in a dangerous place. Like I said with Dambala, there are certain things that one who's well versed in the religious practice knows how to do in order to get a person out of Dambala's possession. And that goes with Ogun. Your Petro spirits, right? Your hotter spirits, Ogun, Ezelidanto, and things like that. These are hotter spirits. So there's certain things that one will do to get a person out of that possession, okay? So that's why it's important to know the different nations, whether a spirit is hot or cold, and how to properly attend to them. That's one of the things I really focus on in my classes, my beginners classes, because I feel like it's important for you to know how to attend these spirits. And I always tell my students when they're first starting out, if you can avoid possession, better. Like, you can feel them, but don't allow any energy to take over your body fully if you don't know what that energy is, and if you don't have somebody who's well versed in the religion to take one out of the possession. It could be very dangerous. So this is not a video to scare you or whatever. This is more of a, It is a beautiful practice, but to be careful in it, like anything else, like any other religious practice, right? If you don't know what you're doing, I always take it to people that use Christianity in the way that it was never meant to be, right? Christianity is supposed to be a religion of love, but you have people that are not well versed in the scriptures. They use the scriptures to literally put people down, and use it to keep people oppressed, and used it in times of slavery to oppress our people, right? And I don't ever feel that, because if we even want to go back to the Bible, you have the whole story of Moses freeing the slaves from Egypt and all that stuff. So people use scripture to make wars and to do bad things. People try to use voodoo and misconstrue it. Oh, I can get possessed, I could do whatever I want, and next thing you know, they're in the mental hospital or something like that because they're possessed by a spirit and don't know how to take it out their body. Now they have a house that spirits are just walking around, and who's to say you even conjured up a Loa in the first place? Because there's a thing called false spirits that pretend to be something that they're not, because they want to be alive again. They want to live in you, they want to possess you, they want to do what they want to do. So as beautiful as possession is, it's something that needs to be respected. Just like I said with the Irish Fae. Fays are not these beautiful little Tinkerbell energies. They're just not. So in that same way, spirits of nature and spirits that have been here forever, I always have felt like they just need to be respected more. And if you really feel called to them, like, there's nothing wrong with studying and learning and getting a mentor and whatever the case may be, and finding resources and taking your time, because it's not just a respect thing, it's also a safety thing for you too. You want to make sure that you're good, that you're not conjuring up or bringing something in your house that then you have to hire somebody like me to do an exorcism on you and to cleanse your home, which is something I can't do these days as much because of COVID. So you know what I mean? So anyways, hopefully this video was helpful. Much love, much light, much blessings. But like I said, there's a lot of healing that comes with these things. You'll have spirits that come through, and your family members could come through. I've had been possessed by other people's family members and all these things. I remember I had somebody whose grandmother came through me, and she spoke Creole. I don't really speak Creole, to be honest. And she was like, that was my grandmother. And I don't even remember the possession, honestly. And that her grandmother ministered something very important to her family. And she said just even my gestures and mannerism just really reminded them of their grandmother. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of healing, beautiful purposes to possession. It's a thing. We just have to be careful. It takes a long time to establish the type of relationship that one would need, and the community that one would need to practice that in a safe way. That's it. All right. Much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Until the next video. Bye.